After the end of the world, on the third day, a snowstorm of unprecedented size swept over the earth. The end of the world also meant the appearance of countless monsters. The guy said that he dropped the medicines and almost died because of it. But, fortunately, he was covered by this stupid dog. In the store, he was packing medicines into his backpack, saying that there seemed to be enough medicines. Now he is going to go to the supermarket to restock food. But he noticed the phone on the table. Taking it, he said that, although not the most chic, but at least something. He was asked to look for something, but the guy has no idea why she needs it. But it seems to him that if you give her enough materials, she will build a spaceship. Coming out of the supermarket, the guy said that it was very cold here, and whistling in his dog, he thought that the streets of Kish were the corpses of those who were not lucky enough to find shelter. He needs to get to the building as soon as possible, but the Broken Bridge shopping center is still far away. The guy will have to run through a large open area. He looked at the monsters in which someone was being eaten and waved to his dog. He signaled that he needed to distract them first, and then they'll finish them off together. The dog understood him. Seeing the positive gesture, the guy thought that he was lucky to find a friendly monster in the first days of the apocalypse. The guy's monster went to the other monsters to distract them. He started saying something in their language, and meanwhile the guy walked past them. And then the two of them attacked these monsters together. After defeating them, the guy told his monster that it was a great job, and patting him on the head, he added that he did not expect him to do everything right. With his quick wit, they would quickly reach them all. These low-level monsters are not a hindrance to them. But then a loud ringing was heard from his backpack. The guy turned white and thought it was. From covering his face with his hand, he thought that his life was still a series of fucking failures. Other monsters came to this ringing. The guy's monster asked him why he got up. We need to run. A lot of monsters really came to this ringing. After seeing them, the guy said that even though they were low-level humanoids, there were still too many of them. He started throwing rocks at them, but as soon as he ran out of steam, he was finished. He needs to get out of here right away. Still, these monsters are very fast. No matter how the guy tried to run fast, they still caught up with him, and he had to fight them off. The guy shouted to his monster that he needed to run. He shouldn't fight them. And he himself thought that this stupid apps this time he could not risk his life for him. But at least he bought him some time. That should be enough for him to get to the nearest building in time. But it wasn't that simple. A huge monster came to the ringing of his phone, which easily threw the guy away. But is he really dead? After a while, he woke up. He examined himself and, picking up the phone, thought that it was time and this door. Is it possible that he has been reborn? The girl was figuring out what was wrong with connecting the computer. She had a complete mess on her desk, a large amount, and a bucket of eaten noodles. She asked what was really disabled. Bluetooth off. Is the connection really disabled? She can't even connect to Wi-Fi. Surely it must be that something is extinguishing the signal, because the distance is very small. The girl was puzzled and angry that nothing was working out for her. She jumped out from behind the table and hitting the table, said that she had received a large bonus. But there was a delay with the payment. But then there was a knock on the door and she asked who it was. From behind the door, she heard that she was answered that it was network maintenance. Opening and looking out the door, the girl said that somehow they were very fast. Is she having problems connecting here? Smiling, the guy told her that she was right. He was very fast. Their company is aimed exclusively at the consumer, so they quickly and efficiently meet all the needs of their customers. The girl began to examine the guys and realized that his hands were clean. His clothes were not working, not even hit Jack, and this smile and the speech. The girl realized that he was not from the company and taking a spray from the wolves, she began to lick him, saying that she had heard a lot about them about these deceivers. She's seen a lot of them, though this guy is one who introduced himself as a master. But the guy grabbed her by the hand in which she was holding the spray from wolves and told her that he knew she was hiding the spray from wolves. And it's better not to think about hitting him between the legs when he loses his vigilance. He knows everything about this girl. Her name is Zhu Fei, and I told her not to do anything stupid for that reason. Zhu Fei asked him who is he, and how did he know her name? Should he let her go now? But the guy was determined and told her to look more carefully, and asked Zhu Fei that she had seen him somewhere before. Zhu Fei thought that she hadn't seen this guy before, but for some reason his face seems very familiar to her. But then the guy interrupted her thoughts and asked her to forget about it, because he doesn't have time for useless conversations, and took out your rope. Zhu Fei asked the guy what he was going to do. After some time, the guy still managed to tie the girl up. Going to Zhu Fei's computer, the guy asked what was strange, why couldn't he find it? In a previous life, he was lying right here. Zhu Fei was at a loss, asked him what he was looking for there, and don't let him touch her equipment. If he breaks something, he won't be able to pay for it later. Zhu Fei is a senior scientist who works for the state, and he has done such a thing here. He's definitely dead now. Then the guy abruptly turned around and started looking at her. The girl misunderstood him and said that he was staring at her breasts like that. He does not have to approach her, she warns him. But the guy needed her locket, which was hanging around Zhu Fei's neck. The guy took it and said that here he was. This time he came a little earlier, so she hasn't put it on the table yet. And already addressing Zhu Fei, the guy told her that she deserved to be called a scientist. This key looks so high-tech. Zhu Fei asked him what, how did he know it was a key? The guy grinned at her, said that he knows not only what it is, but also where it is applied. And, going to the painting that hangs on the wall, he said that there is a safe right behind this painting. Zhu Fei was indignant and asked him again, how did he know this? But the guy ignored her and inserted the key, said that it sparkled beautifully. Just the right time. Zhu Fei shouted at him to stop immediately and didn't touch anything there. But the guy did not listen to her and opened the safe, said that okay. He certainly does not understand why she hides all this garbage in such a place for him. But he is only interested in one specific thing. After rummaging through the garbage in his chest, he said that he had found it. They were tar cards made of dark gold. After counting the cards, he asked if it was really only 47. That's one less than last time, and that means Zhu Fei kept shouting at him not to touch her creations. Then the guy realized and thought that the person who owns these cards is reborn after death. But one of the cards will disappear every time, and this means that the number of rebirths is limited. But then one of Zhu Fei's creations started shooting at the guy. Zhu Fei controlled this thing remotely, using a bracelet that was on her arm. But the guy still deftly dodged her shots. Zhu Fei told the guy that she didn't think he would force her to do this. He has no right to touch her precious creations and now he must die for it. The guy called Zhu Fei crazy, told her that she had damaged the magnetic field of the whole earth with this thing. And I asked her, where did she get such dangerous things? Zhu Fei keeps shooting at the guy, said she doesn't understand what he's talking about. Her most precious things are stored in this safe, and no one dares to touch them. But then Zhu Fei realized that the guy had done something to her drone, because he had now started shooting at her. And calling the guy a fat piece of shit, she asked how is it really broken? Zhu Fei's drone was about to fry her, but the guy managed to save the girl at the last second. Taking something from the floor, he threw it at the drone, and it broke. The guy said that this thing that Zhu Fei kept as a keepsake almost turned her into a memory herself. Zhu Fei wanted to say something, but the guy was very angry and, interrupting her, said that he had saved her life, so he would take the tarot cards as a gift for saving her. Zhu Fei asked the guy that he broke into her house not for money, but for tarot cards. The strict guy replied that it was to survive in a new world. These tarot cards are a very valuable thing. It is a pity that when he received them one time, he was not aware of their secrets. Was it when he was fighting? He was being hunted by an army. The commander of this army ordered his soldiers to look around and shouted at the guy to surrender. After all, while he is on this isolated island, he has nowhere to run. Wouldn't it be better to give them tarot cards and pry and join the organization so that everyone can survive together? To which the guy replied that he would never believe them. That guy was wearing the stuff of the guy who gave up earlier. As soon as he gives them the cards, they will immediately kill him. He was shot in the arm and leg, so he won't be able to escape. Is his life coming to an end now? And all this is because he has to be reborn. And after looking at the tarot cards, he said that it would be great if he had met them earlier. Maybe then the outcome would have been different. Then the man asked that why this guy is not moving. Then the guy told them that it was fine, let them not shoot, he would surrender to them. Weapons and cards are on the ground, don't let them kill him. When the soldier saw the cards, he said that they were tarot cards made of black gold. And when he came to take them, he said that if the guy had given them earlier, he would not have been in such a deplorable state. But since they have the artifact in their hands, and, presenting a gun to the guy's head, the man said that there was no value in it now. To which the guy replied that he knew that the man would say so. He had tarot cards in his hands, and he added that no one but him would be able to control such high-level magic. And today not only he will die, but all of them. There is a lot of oil under the pier. The soldiers started shouting that if they want to live, they need to run because this guy is crazy. Then there was a huge explosion. After hearing this story, Zhu Fei said that he died on that island. But now he's in front of her, in other words. But later he interrupted and said that it was true, he had been reborn. Zhu Fei asked him if he was crazy. And laughing, Zhu Fei said that the guy is very funny. And she really thought he was evil. Zhu Fei was talking to her colleagues about what kind of rebirth is a shitty means of protection. And it seems that she has now found the right person. The guy said that he knows that it's hard for her to believe it, but Zhu Fei kept laughing, saying that even her stomach was already hurting from laughing. It's so funny. But the guy remained unperturbed. He got up and went to the window and said that fortunately, he would not have to explain anything more, because time was up. And opening the window, he told Zhu Fei to look through it, and then she will see with her own eyes what is happening outside. After looking out the window, Zhu Fei was horrified and said that it was the end of the world. A lot of meteorites were flying outside the window, who were destroying the whole city. There was chaos around, everything was on fire. People on the street were horrified. Everyone was very scared, because no one understood anything. One man asked that how is this possible, to which the other man replied that now was not the time to talk. He needed to hide, and together they decided to hide in the subway. They ran to the subway, but a meteorite fell right in front of them, which blocked their way. The road was blocked, and the men saw that there was something in the fog left by the fallen meteorite. It was a monster. Along with meteorites, the earth was filled with monsters, many monsters. The guy told Zhu Fei not to worry. After all, this building will not fall. The meteorite from can be safely waited out. And the meteorites kept falling. Zhu Fei asked the guy that why did everything change so quickly. People on the street were in a panic. Everyone was very afraid and asked for help. The guy told Zhu Fei that these monsters from another dimension, they would kill everyone indiscriminately. If the two of them will sit them, then they will be able to stay alive. If they manage their supplies wisely, they will be able to hold out for at least 2 weeks. Zhu Fei asked, what is he talking about? Can't he see what's going on outside? And they just have to sit here. Obviously, they need to find a way to get out of this city as soon as possible and as far away as possible. They must escape to a safe place and wait until the army destroys all the monsters that have arrived in their world. To which the guy replied that it was impossible. After all, if they go outside, they're screwed. And besides, there will be no army and no safe place. But after a couple of days, the world will become a living hell, the epicenter of which is in Australia. Due to monsters and cataclysms, the world's population will decrease by 80%. And those who survive, they will have to fight these monsters or hide in holes like rats. Well, or you can search for magical artifacts and use them to develop superpowers and become awakened. But Zhu Fei didn't understand what he was talking about. The guy told her that the awakened ones can kill monsters and get experience from them. Zhu Fei, still tied up, asked what are the artifacts and what is the experience. Then the guy understood and told Zhu Fei that it was pointless to explain everything to her. She'll understand when she sees it for herself. If they want to survive in this world, he needs to use this super artifact. Zhu Fei asked him that he wasn't going to eat it, right? But it was too late, because the guy had already eaten this super artifact. Zhu Fei asked what it was, why was it glowing like that? And the guy said that it had finally started. The resonance with the tarot cards caused a steady flow of forces in his body. This is the ritual of becoming awakened. But something is wrong. Zhu Fei, very scared, asked the guy that he was okay. But the guy did not answer her and thought that the magic that hovers around him was completely absorbed by his body. This awakening should be much stronger than in his previous life. There was a knock at the door. Zhu Fei reacted immediately and said that they were probably soldiers. They came for them to save them. The girl had already got up to open the door, but the guy stopped her and asked that she was completely stupid. Let her think that why would the soldiers go up to her apartment? And I told her not to open the door in any case. But it was too late. All Zhu Fei had already opened the door. There was a monster standing outside the door that was already ready to eat them. When Zhu Fei saw him, she was very scared. The guy said that his awakening hasn't finished yet. He can't move if this monster attacks him. But the monster did. He attacked the guy. And since the guy couldn't move, he stayed where he was, and the monster slammed him into the wall. Zhu Fei asked if he was okay. To which the guy replied to her that she herself thinks. And I thought it looked like he had broken a couple of ribs. Then the monster struck again. The guy got really sick. Then the girl came to his aid and started beating monsters, told him to die and go to hell. But at the same time she screamed for help. The monster was about to attack Zhu Fei, but then a guy shouted at him, saying that it hurt. But, fortunately, he had an artifact of protection. And now his awakening is completely complete. Looking at the guys, Zhu Fei asked that where are his wounds. Since the guy woke up, every now and then he was cured. He said he seemed to have found the monster's weak spot. Then I hit him. After the guy was given his monster, he said that after waking up, he became at least 5 times stronger than an ordinary person. And now it's time to demonstrate its power. Zhu Fei was shocked and asked him that where did he get such power from. To which the guy briefly replied to her that it was all thanks to the awakening. Meanwhile, the system congratulated the player Kun Yi on waking up. he gains abilities relative to his attributes. After that, the system window appeared. Walking up to him, they both saw all of Kun Ye's characteristics. Name, Kun Ye. Level 1. Experience, 15 out of 100. Power, 12. Each power point increases health by 20 units. Dexterity, 10 affects the chance of evasion and attack speed. Intelligence, 18. Each intelligence point increases the mana reserve by 10 units. Health, 220. Mana, 180. Seeing this, Zhu Fei asked, "What is it? What kind of sudden technology is this?" Kun Ye replied to her that it was difficult to explain. He can only tell her one thing, that when this star began, the world began to resemble some kind of online game. Monsters are the same as mobs in the game, and the awakened ones are the players. Zhu Fei said that Kun Ji was seriously injured, but he recovered so quickly after that. Is it really connected with the awakening? Kung Yi told her that in this new world, some people have become owners of magical powers, and Kung Yi is one of the awakened ones, and asked Zhu Fei if they were injured. To which Zhu Fei said that everything was fine with her, it had been worse. Sitting on the sofa, Kun Ji told Zhu Fei that it was very difficult for ordinary people to survive in this world. But as long as he is with her, he will do everything to protect her. Hearing this, Zhu Fei thought that this guy was actually not bad. She just didn't understand him from the very beginning. Then the system congratulated Kun Yi again, and he said that he was the first awakened in Jincheng County. And as a reward, Kun Yi gets 1 silver chest. After hearing this, Kun Yi thought that he needed to try his luck. Zhu Fei asked Kun Yi what was in those chests, and she asked him to open these chests faster, because she is very interested in what is in them. Opening one of the chests, Kun Yi said that it was a top-level storage ring. It accommodates 1,000 square meters. After seeing this ring, Zhu Fei was very surprised and asked if such a small thing could really hold so much. Kun Yi said that he didn't even expect that he would be so lucky this time. After examining and admiring the ring, Kun Yi opened the next chest. The system said that player Kun Yi gets a secret scroll of rank C, and to study the ability of this artifact, you need 1 skill point. Zhu Fei told Kun Ji to study it faster, and I asked him that this ability is strong. Kun Yi told her that in general, awakened players only get the best skills. This C rank ability is extremely rare. With it, you can gain permanent control over the creature. The level of the subordinate creature can exceed the level of the owner of the ability by only 2 levels. After the end of the world, magicians from different dimensions will infiltrate their world. Magic will be tied to magical items that can become containers, and those who can resonate with these magical items will be able to become superhumans, who are called awakened. Such people are not only stronger than ordinary people, but are also able to use magic freely. Even though Kun Yi can only learn this ability now, but it will increase as his skills grow. And besides, Kun Yi can repair enemy creatures. This is a very cool ability. And after studying all the artifacts more closely, Kun Yi asked, "I wonder if you will be able to subdue people as well, or just monsters?" Zhu Fei was still in shock and said that it was really just like a game. Kung Yi told her that yes, now she understands everything. Zhu Fei, looking out the window, was very scared and sharply shouted that there was a monster behind the window. The monster broke through the glass and flew into Zhu Fei's apartment and grabbed Kun Ji with its paws. Zhu Fei was very scared. Kun Yi was angry with himself because he allowed himself to relax. He said that this flying monster had not noticed him before, but when the awakening process began, he was learning a surge of his energy, and shouted to Zhu Fei to run away from here as fast as possible. Zhu Fei wanted to object, although she was very afraid. But Kun Ji interrupted her and told her to leave while this monster was busy with him, otherwise he would kill her too. She just has to go and not think about him. She should not be afraid for him, because the human body in the process of awakening will not be injured until the awakening is completed. And Zhu Fei screams as if she saw a ghost. Zhu Fei said well, but Kun Yi feels pain. Kun Yi told her to leave, as the awakening process would attract even more monsters, and soon this place would be overrun by these monsters. Zhu Fei should look at her lab and find something that can help them. Meanwhile, another monster arrived. Zhu Fei was very scared and said she would do it. Let him hold on a little longer. She will come back from saving Kun Yi. When Zhu Fei left, Kun Ji thought that at least she would be safe now. But they all continue to shred him. He needs to restore his body as soon as possible. If this goes on, then Kun Yi does not know if he will be able to complete his awakening. But there are more and more monsters, he can't stand it anymore. Kun Chizhevsky will be able to be reborn, and only if Tara holds this card, you can't let her go. Meanwhile, in her room, Zhu Fei was trying to build something, telling Kun Ji to hold on. There are no such crystals left at all. She found this crystal in the suburbs, is it worth using it? but she doesn't have time to think. She started the creation process. Meanwhile, Kun Yi had a synchronization. He thought that this was bad because the awakening was about to end. With the initial strength, the awakened Kun Yi cannot defeat these monsters. If the tarot cards do not work, then he will not have the opportunity to be reborn. The glow disappeared, and the awakening was complete. HP 220, MP 180. Due to the attacks, the synchronization time was increased. But it must be that Kung Yi has become even stronger, right? The fact that he was so unlucky in this life and everything ended so sadly. But then it happened unexpectedly. Zhu Fei came to the aid of Kung Ji. She created weapons and attacked monsters with them. Seeing her, Kung Yi was very surprised, and Zhu Fei told him that she made him a sword. He should not stand rooted to the spot. He should already take this sword and finish off these monsters. But because of her attacks, the monster got very angry and was about to eat her. The girl threw the sword and, running away from the monster, said that she could not pick it up. He has to deal with it somehow himself. She was so scared that she tripped and fell. She asked Kun Yi for help. At the last second, Kun Ji saved Zhu Fei. He said it was incredible, because this sword is able to cut flying demons, which ate harder than steel. In this fucking world, Zhu Fei's creation skill has no equal. She shouldn't be afraid, because Kun Yi will do everything to protect her. Kun Ji told Zhu Fei that such a weapon is very rare. I didn't even expect her to be capable of such a thing. Pleased with herself, Zhu Fei responded to the praise, which she could not do. And if time wasn't running out, she would have done something even cooler. But the main issue has not yet been resolved. Kun Yi asked her what's the question. Walking up to Kun Ji and poking her finger at his new sword, Zhu Fei said that this sword just needed to be given a name, and offered to name it. But Kung Yi didn't listen to her, because he heard that there was another monster behind them. Covering Zhu Fei with him, he told her menacingly that they would talk about it later. After all, first they need to deal with these monsters. Zhu Fei thought that it looked like Kun Ji could be relied upon. The monster rushed at them, but Kun Yi easily cut it with the sword that Zhu Fei made for him. After defeating this monster, Kun Yi noticed two more and thought that these two were seriously injured, so they would be easy to deal with. But then several more monsters entered from the hole in the wall. After seeing them, Kun Yi said that there were a lot more of them. Now it's not going to be as easy as he thought. But he did not waste time in vain and went to kill them. After killing a couple of monsters, Kung Yi was already exhausted and said that after waking up, his physical abilities had increased. He could now easily wield even such a large sword. Well, it seems that even such a large number of monsters is no longer a hindrance to him. But among these monsters there is also a Cobalt Mage, and such monsters are able to restore the health of others. This monster quickly returns its wounded relatives to battle. Then Zhu Fei shouted to Kun Ji to look, because that monster is still alive. Kun Yi decided that he needed to subdue the Cobalt Mage first. And if he manages to do this, then he will deal with the rest of the monsters. And besides, that Mac Cobalt will be his. And Kun Yi went into battle again. Then Zhu Fei caught his attention. Seeing her, Kun Yi thought, what is she doing? She shouldn't create even more problems for him, because there are so many of them. Due to the fact that Kun Ji was distracted by Zhu Fei, he did not notice that a monster crept up behind him and attacked him. Zhu Fei, trying to help Kun Ji, attacked one of the monsters, shouting that she would kill him, and bit the monster's neck. At this time, one of the monsters noticed that Kun Yi was badly injured and exhausted, and also badly wounded. Through severe pain and fatigue, Kun Yi said that the wound is very deep. He's lost a lot of blood, and he needs even more energy to recover. But then he noticed that Zhu Fei was in danger, and she was calling for his help. The monster that Zhu Fei attacked while trying to help Kun Yi grabbed her by the neck. Kun Yi can't leave her in trouble, and after killing the monster that wanted to attack him, he sternly told him to let the girl go. But the monster does not intend to listen to him and hit Kung even harder. But Kung Yi no longer paid attention to the pain and said that he was within its range. And he used the magic of Holy Conquest. All beaten up and tired, Kun Yi thought that did the Holy Conquest not work on this monster. And Zhu Fei told him to get Kun Yi out of here faster. But Kun Yi didn't listen to her. He kept hoping that Holy Subjugation would work on this monster. And it worked. The monster obeyed Kung Yi. Seeing this, Zhu Fei and Kun Ji were confused. Then the system window popped up, in which it was written about the kobold magician whom Kung Yi subdued. The level of this monster was 2, attack 15, health 300, mana 150. The colon ability restores 20 health every second, while spending 5 mana points. After seeing this and analyzing everything, Kung Yi said that it was very good. And already turning to his new monster, Kun Ji told him to quickly heal Zhu Fei. When Cobalt Mac treated Zhu Fei, the girl said that it was just incredible, because her wounds were healing. And turning to Kun Yi, she said that he was also seriously injured. He should first take care of himself. To which Kun Yi replied that after his awakening, his body is much stronger than before, and than ordinary people, he will be able to withstand it. Then Zhu Fei remembered something and decided to ask Kun Ji about it now. She asked how he knew her name, and what's his name anyway. To which Kun Yi said that his name is Kun Yi, and he is not here for the first time. Thanks to the tarot cards, he came back to life after his death, so he knows her name. And he also knows that Zhu Fei is a scientist. All the machines that are here are created by her. And then both of them heard rumbling in their stomachs. Confused, Zhu RF said that she had ordered a chicken casserole. And she asked Kun Yi that he thought they would be able to bring her. To which Kun Yi replied that unless the monsters decide to bring it to her. And I decided to check the refrigerator first. 30 minutes later, still, they managed to find food in the refrigerator. After eating, Zhu Fei sat down in a chair and said that she had eaten too much. And Kun Yi was surprised by her calmness, said that she was so calm. After all, they won't have enough food and water for long. They need to look for supplies. Pointing Kun Ji at a building nearby, Zhu Fei said that there is a broken bridge shopping mall 2 blocks away, and there should be a lot of delicious food there. If they manage to get to the there, they won't have to worry about food and water. To which Kun Yi scratched his chin and told her that yes, but only his plan was to sit here. He has to go there himself. Zhu Fei was taken aback by his answer and said that he was really going to leave her here all alone. But Kung was confident in his decision and told her that it was very dangerous there. He wouldn't be able to protect her if they went there together. Right now, he can't waste his energy messing around with Zhu Fei. There are no monsters in this building anymore, it's safer here than outside. Zhu Fei told him to be as careful as possible. Kun Yi assured her that he would definitely come back with supplies. 3 days later, through a strong storm of snow, hiding from the snow with a cloak, Kun Yi made his way along with his monster. Kun Yi thought that the storm had begun, the real challenge of the new world. But they have to go further since he promised Zhu Fei. When he arrived at the building, Kun Yi said that there was still a lot left. But last time he died because of it. Now he needs to avoid the previous mistakes. They entered the store together with the monster and walked between the shelves. Then he noticed a phone on one of the tables and said that the phone should attract more attention. It looks like people came here for food, but stumbled upon monsters. Then the two of them heard the screams of people who asked the monsters not to eat them. After looking at where these screams were coming from, Kun Yi saw a group of people who were surrounded by 2 monsters. Kun Yi was determined and thought that he had to kill the strongest of them first. He commanded his monster, whom he called Urha, to go ahead. Urha immediately reacted to Kun Yi's order and rushed to kill these monsters. While Kun Yi shouted to the people to take food and go to the basement urgently. Urhan deftly dealt with monsters and Kun Ji came to his aid, who took out a sword that Zhu Fei had made for him. Kun Yi told the people that if they didn't make noise, they could survive. And looking out the window, Kun Yi thought that, apparently, they were afraid of the sounds of battle. Then he noticed that there was no electricity and decided that he would go up the stairs. Outside in the corridor, the cries for help continued. Then Kun Yi saw that someone was attacking from above, and it was the girl who fell on him. Inadvertently and unexpectedly, Kun Yi accidentally grabbed her breasts. The girl hit Kun Yi for groping her and called him a monster pervert. After a while, the girl said that he was a man. Kun Yi asked her to just not hit him anymore. But when she saw the monster behind Kun Yi's back, the girl was scared and said that there was a monster right behind him. Kun Yi asked her to calm down and stop screaming, because that way she would attract even more monsters if she yelled like that. And grabbing her by the hand and dragging her along, he thought that he needed to find a place to hide. Going up to the next floor and still dragging the girl with him, Kun Yi thought that this was a storeroom, it should be safe here. And hiding there, he thought that so many monsters had come here. If they get out, they're definitely screwed. He looked at the girl and realized that she was shaking with fear and barely holding on. Approaching her, he said that both of them she was sitting quietly, otherwise he would throw her out of the pantry. Then his tarot cards vibrated. Sesame thought, why did they vibrate? They seem to resonate with something. There is magic emanating from this girl. Perhaps she is awakened. The girl asked him that he was a good guy. Kun Yi was shocked by this question and said that, yes, he is a good guy. But the girl, still shaking with fear, said that the monster was with him. But Kun Yi said that there was no need to worry, because it was his pet, and no one will hurt this girl. Hearing this, the girl said that she handed something to Kun Yi. Taking what the girl gave him, Kun Yi began to read the note. There was a request in which it was written that you need to call 87541 or take her to apartment 1401, House 5, Lanchin Community, 375 Kyanjin Street, Xincheng Prefecture, Qingcheng City. After reading this to Kun Yi, asked the girl what is it. The girl said her sister said that if she gets lost, she needs to give it to a nice guy, and then he could take her home, and ask him if he can take her home. After hearing this, Kun Yi was very surprised and thought that she was as stupid as a child, and he told her that it was fine. When it was safe, he would take her home. The girl was very happy about this. Kun Yi introduced himself and asked what her name was. The girl said her name was Lin Xiaolai, and calling him Kun Yi's brother, she said that he could call her Xiaolai, because that's what her sister called her. Kun Yi said that it's very dangerous to go out through the door, so they need to find another way to get out of here. Here the system sent notifications saying that there was a new mission. The scope of this mission is King Cheng. After hearing this announcement, Kun Yi was very scared and said that he was scared of this system notification every time. The system also sent him a description that said 30,000 people had survived in King Cheng City. A safe zone is automatically created in the city. Humanity is faced with genocide. The task of the awakened is to protect the survivors. Export tasks. Each awakened person can take 3 people to a safe zone. Reward. The reward depends on the distance and difficulty of the task. The maximum reward is a golden chest. After receiving the assignment, you need to decide on the applicants for an escort within 6 hours. If there are deaths during the escort, then 1 to 5 attribute points will be removed. After reading this system notification, Kun Yi thought about it and thought, is it really a regional task? The reward for it seems to be quite good. It is difficult to move around the city even by one, and if you still drag 3 people with you, unless he can awaken the chosen person, this will significantly reduce the complexity. Xiaolai is an excellent candidate for awakening. Lin Xiaolai called out to Kun Ji and asked if he could save another person. She's her best friend, but she can't find her. Kun Yi told her not to worry and asked her when was the last time they saw each other. Lin Xiaolai said that last night on the steps on the 3rd floor. They were playing hide and seek then, but when the girl counted to 100, her friend was nowhere to be found. Sesame told her that now that monsters are everywhere, her friend is probably already. But Lin Xiaolai did not listen to him and, interrupting him, said that this could not be. Her friend, she's very well. Tuna Zhen began to argue with her and said that he had to go and find her. Now most of the monsters are on the north staircase. It should be relatively safe on the south steps. Maybe Lin Xiaolai's girlfriend is still alive. Lin Xiaolai thanked Kun Ji. Kun Yi, taking out his sword, punched a hole in the wall and said that it looks like the walls here are not so difficult to break. They have to hide from those monsters if they pass through this hole, and asked Lin Xiaolai to be quiet. The 3 of them began to make their way. Hiding between 2 shelves, Kun Yi said that the corridors on the 1st and 2nd floors are full of monsters. It looks like they'll have to walk on the upper floor. On the way up, they may encounter several monsters, but Kun Yi will sort them out. Walking behind Kun Ji, Lin Xiaolai said that there was a strange smell here. Coming to the place where this unpleasant smell came from, Kun Yi, seeing what happened here, was very surprised and said, "What happened here? How is this possible?" There were a lot of corpses of people lying there. The monsters had a broken wall and there was a lot of blood. Covering Lin Xiaolai with himself, Kun Ji said that it probably wasn't just a battle of monsters among themselves. He didn't finish his sentence and ordered Lin Xiaolai to follow right behind him. And told him to stand at the door. Opening the doors, entering this room, Kun Yi saw many survivors. All the people were exhausted and, worse, that they were held hostage. Someone said he was very hungry. After seeing all this, Kun Yi said that he did not expect that there were so many survivors here. And then he noticed a sofa on which 2 men were sitting, and a girl on the lap of one of them. This girl told the man and on whose lap she was sitting, so that it does not look like this person is ordinary. The man smiled badly and said that he was awakened, but very weak. Another man said that the boy, although he is awakened, but he must follow their rules. If he wants food, he will have to exchange it for things. The man thinks that his sword will do, he really liked it. After hearing this, Kun Yi thought that he lacked 70 experience points to level 3. The skinny guy is now at level 3, and the fat guy is at level 4. They are both better than him, and Kun Yi asked them that how many monsters had they killed. The skinny man said that all the monsters are at the door and they were killed by his brother. And the fat man told him that it was better for him to obey them too, otherwise he would finish him off. Kun Yi thought it was very strange, because judging by the number of monsters killed, they should have the same levels. But his level is lower than theirs. Do tarot cards absorb his experience? Sesame fears that the longer it takes, the greater the difference between them and the other awakened ones. Then the monster Kun Yi came into this room. Seeing him, the girl was very scared. The fat man did not like her screams and, grabbing her by the hair, he told her that she had said there were no monsters there. So what is it? The girl said she didn't know, but Kung Yi told them all to calm down because this is his pet. The fat and thin men exchanged glances. The fat man said that this guy is only at level 2, it will be easy to deal with him, but if he is helped by a monster. The thin man said that, however, his monster is a healer, you need to get him. The fat man got up from the sofa and, addressing Kung Yi, asked him to apologize for the way they treated him. And the man hopes that he will forgive them for this, and they handed him a glass of wine as an apology. The man also told him that they would be kind to him only. Kung Yi thought what kind of freaks they were after all. And without listening to the fat man, Kung Yi said that he would probably refuse their offer. Then a thin man jumped in and, addressing Kun Ziechen, asked him if he really doesn't understand who he's talking to right now. But the fat man stopped him and said, Kun Chij, that in exchange he would give him a girl in a dress. Let him think about it. But the girls in the dress did not like it and clinging to the fat man, she said that he had promised to take her to a safe zone. He can't, but the fat men did not listen to her and threw her away. He called her names and told her to roll out of here and not make noise. But Kung Yi was firm in his decision and told the two of them to fuck off. The fat man told him that he was giving him one last chance. He should leave the girl and get out of here. Kung Yi told Lin Xiaolai to step back. The fat man didn't even wait for Kung Yi's response and attacked him. But Kung Yi was able to deflect his blow. Sesame told the fat man that he was a berserker who used brute force to stun an opponent. Only if his attacks are blocked correctly, then they will not be of any use. To which the fat man told him that he had underestimated him. He is only a swordsman and knows so much about classes. The man admits that he is not bad, but he definitely won't be able to defeat his brother. And already turning to his brother, he said that he could join them. Kung Yi ordered his monster to protect Lin Xiaolai, and he went to attack these two men. Kung Yi said there was no way he would join such a rabble. After deflecting Kung Yi's blow, the fat man realized that he was fast. But where did he get such speed at level 2? There's Sesame here. I noticed a shadow and thought that this sneak attack this man is definitely a killer. Then a thin man appeared behind Kung Yi, who told him that he was going to die. The skinny man told Kung Yi that he was caught, and attacked him from behind. But Kung Yi immediately moved to the other side. Both men were very surprised and said that he was so smart. And Kung Yi said they were trash. The fat man ordered that no one let Kung Yi pass and that he be killed as soon as possible. The people who watched their battle said they were too fast and they couldn't see anything. These brothers are so nasty, but they fight amazing. Kung Yi tried to strike at the fat man, but he blocked him. The fat man thought, what kind of power? Everything is falling out of his hands, he won't last long. He has to die. The thin man thought that his technique was different in accuracy, but his incredible speed solves a lot. This boy is very strange. Despite the fact that they surpass him in level, he still holds on with a full supply of blood. And the blood volume of their brothers decreased due to several wounds. Kung Yi thought that if he used the magic attraction technique, then he would be able to direct all his power to a certain area of the body, and not only to hit, but also to protect him. So Kung Yi will be in a better position. Let their level be higher, but they are still very far from his mastery. The fat man had already lost his temper and said that if Kung Yi continued to attack them like this, they might die. A thin man told his brother that it was time to come up with something new. Listen to their whole conversation. Kung Yi thought that they were going to surprise him this time. After the two men had discussed their plan, the thin man headed towards Lin Xiaolai. Seeing this, Kung Yi realized that she was in danger. He was about to go to help Lin Xiaolai, but a fat man blocked his way. This man told him that Kung Yi would not run away from him. The skinny man was about to grab Lin Xiaolai, but he was hit by a monster ready to tame Kung Ji. After seeing this monster, the skinny man said that this monster is too strong. And after the monster attacked him again, the man thought that he would not last long. He needs to figure out a quick way to grab this girl. And looking at his brother, he realized that his brother was also at the limit. Unable to stand it, the thin man barked at people, asking what they were doing, and ordered them to grab the girl faster. A hype has developed among the people. Someone said that it seemed to him that the brothers would lose. He was told that they thought it was not worth judging ahead of time. And someone asked what they would do if their evil spirits began to haunt them. A thin man ordered them to grab the girl, and he would provide people to accompany her. The girl who was sitting on the fat man's lap thought that Kung Yi was not so bad after all. He should be hers. Is it time for this girl to move over? The girl got up and, taking wine glasses from the tray, thought that perhaps he would hate her for the death of his girlfriend, because such uncouth animals like men do not know how to think intelligently. Meanwhile, the crowd was still deciding what to do. Someone said that this is the only way to survive, so you need to grab the girl. The woman inadvertently broke a glass and thought that this girl was surprisingly lucky. Then a man came out of the crowd and said he would take care of her, and ordered everyone to get out of the way. But since this woman broke the glass, there were fragments of it everywhere, and the man stepped right on one of them. The woman took Lin Xiaolei hostage and called her names, saying that she would not leave her today. Let him thank his lovely cheeks for this. Lin Xiaolei was very scared and, turning to Gong Jae, asked him to help her. The woman told Lin Xiaolei that only that guy would be able to make her leave, so she better shut up. Then he took this woman by the scruff of the neck, some men, and told her that no one dares to steal prey from under his nose. The woman said that they were pathetic cowards because they couldn't leave here alive without her. Meanwhile, the fight between the two men and Gong Jae continued. Gong Jae thought that he had to hurry because Lin Xiaolei was in danger. He loaded the blade with magic, and with this he will finish off those men in 2 counts. The man realized that Gong Jae's attacks had become much stronger. They are running out of health points. The fat man shouted to his brother that it was time to leave, otherwise they were screwed. The fat man sent a stream of force into the leg, but then Sesame suddenly appeared and hit the fat man's leg with his blade. The men were very scared. She was in a panic. He asked Gong Jae not to kill him. Gong Jae came to Lin Xiaolei. The thin man, who had been held by the monster that Gong Jae had tamed all this time, said that if he let him go, he would give him equipment, provisions, people, so he asks for his life. But Gong Jae didn't listen to him, and the monster killed him. Sesame said that he himself is able to get what he needs, and he went to the fat man to finish him off. The man tried to stop him, saying that he needed to talk. He would become the head, get everything he wanted. But Gong Jae was serious and told him not to piss him off with empty chatter. The fat man was desperate, said he could give him the scroll from the dream world. These words stopped Gong Jae, and he thought that the scroll was from the dream world. The key to enter the test is the greatest rarity. The fat man told him that he would only get it if he promised that he would not kill him. Gong Jae said he would think about it and ordered the man to give him this scroll quickly. The man gave this scroll. The system said that the scroll from the dream world is not installed. The pictures from the world of dreams are not established. The number of people to enter starts from level 15 is unknown. After receiving this scroll, Gong Jae thought that the scroll could only be used after checking the appraiser. And at this time, the fat man thought that he only needed to squeeze. And then he will finish off Gong Jae, as well as return the scroll back and take all his equipment, cattle and women. After the Sesame, I examined this scroll. He told the fat man that he decided not to let him go. This can cause him a lot of trouble, and he killed this man. After the victory, Gong Jae approached Lin Xiaolei and said that all the villains had been defeated. Now she has nothing to be afraid of anymore, now everything is fine. Gong Jae paid attention to the people who were also in this room and told them not to do anything. He would find out about it anyway. Did these people start talking to each other? Someone said that this guy had just mercilessly killed the brothers Zhang Qiang and Zhang Hao, and he asked that the same fate would not await them. The other guy said he was afraid of him. Hearing everything they say, Gong Jae thought he didn't have to kill these people. He needs to find them a suitable task, and just leave the useless ones to their fate. But he doesn't think you are. Then his thoughts were interrupted by that woman, and calling out to Gong Jae, she asked him how is she to him. Gong Jae told her that she had quite a good potential, powerful magical energy. That's just. The woman did not let him finish and, interrupting him, asked what just happened. Does he have other requirements? But Gong Jae was serious and told her sternly that she had not yet paid for the attempt on Lin Xiaolei. Gong Jae sternly told her that did she really think that he would just turn a blind eye to her attempts to harm Lin Xiaolei. She was very scared of him and, shaking, said that the guard he killed had told her that he had the necessary potential. And besides, she knows much better what men need. Gong Jae was very angry at her and grabbed her by the neck, told her that yes, she really has unique magical abilities and is perfect for this task. The woman was very scared and said she would do whatever he asked, to which Gong Jae harshly replied that her soul was blacker than that of a wild beast. That's why she has to die. But he was stopped by Lin Xiaolei, who said that she didn't need to kill anyone and was already very scared. Gong Jae immediately stopped and, coming to his senses, asked what was wrong with him. Had he almost lost his mind just now? And he thought that fortunately, Lin Xiaolei's words brought him back to consciousness. Even in such difficult times, one should remain human. And addressing this woman, Gong Jae said that he could not kill ordinary mortals. He approached Lin Xiaolei and said that he had scared her a lot. Lin Xiaolei said she didn't like eating here. She really wants to go in search of the baby. Sesame agreed with her and said that they would be on their way as soon as all the inventory and supplies were ready for this. Lin Xiaolei agreed with him. Gong Jae said that the Murloc killer's dagger fell out of Zhang Hao's body. It gives a bonus when killing monsters that belong to the Murloc race, and this is very similar to a call to kill people. And I turned to Lin Xiaolei. Kunji said that they are leaving here, they are going to the roof. When they went out on the roof, Lin Xiaolei said that she was very cold. Then Kunji lent her his raincoat and told her to be patient just a little more, she should get warm soon. Lin Xiaolei said she was very warm. Kunji began to look around and said that the connecting bridge between the two buildings of the shopping center was never completed. The distance between the beams somewhere 5-6 meters, and if they're going to move on, they're going to have to jump. And crouching down, Kunji told Lin Xiaolei to climb on his back, but Lin Xiaolei said she was scared, to which Kunji sternly told her that she should get on his back faster, otherwise he would leave her here, and Lin Xiaolei obediently climbed onto his back. That woman came out on the roof and called Kunji, asking him to take her with him. She promises him that she will be obedient, even if she does not leave her here alone, to which Kunji told her that if she jumped to the other side, then so be it, she would go with them. The woman said that it was impossible. Kunji asked her, what's so difficult here? Even if she is a girl, then you just need to suppress your inner fear and jump. If she doesn't have the courage to even try, then no one can help her. And already addressing Lina Xiaolei, who was on his back, told her to hold on tight, and she didn't loosen her grip. Otherwise, they may die with her. Lin Xiaolei said she could handle it. Kunji said that it is necessary to direct the magical currents into the legs, and running away, they easily jumped over obstacles. When they were in the air, Lin Xiaolei thought that with his brother, with his sister, with the baby and with her, they would be fine. Do they just have to survive? And even if nothing remains of the past world, they will still find a living memory of it somewhere. When they jumped over to the other side, Kunji told her that that's how it was all right now, they were safe. And already addressing that woman, Kunji shouted to her that if she wasn't sure, then don't let her try. Let her go to the exit in the building and wait for him. The two of them entered the building and Kunji told Lin Xiaolei to keep up and be quiet. Upon entering this building, they heard someone asking who is here. How dare they invade her abode? Who are they? Let them identify themselves. Lin Xiaolei found out that it was the baby's voice. Meanwhile, the voice continued to say that the people who harmed her family should pay for it. And this baby started shooting at them. Crouching down and blocking Lin Xiaolei, Kunji thought that it looked like a drugging needle. Laughing, this little girl came out to them. It turned out to be a little hare who told them that she didn't think they would be able to dodge her attack. This hare asked that did they dodge her attack. This is quite good for ordinary mortals. Kunjang asked Lin Xiaolei that is it really her friend Rabbit. Upon hearing this, the rabbit became enraged and called Kunji a blockhead. She said she was the familiar of the hostess, Roberta. Kunji asked her what and where is her mistress. Then the rabbit asked him what and where are his manners. Her mistress occupies a very high position, and now he will be convinced of this. And the rabbit said about his mistress that he had brought Lin Xiaolei to them after all. And now she's safe, let her see her true form. Then Roberta appeared and said that here he was the man who dared to kidnap her relatives. And she asked him that he knew who she was. Kunji asked, what's the baby? Lin Xiaolei told him that being at the first level of awakening, she was able to make this doll talk. She could have learned some summoning techniques. Roberto said that baby is just a name given to her in this world. In fact, her body once belonged to the daughter of the Queen of the Blood Clan, the vampire clan that existed for many years under the leadership of Lexus, Bei, Maria, Juan and Saint Margaret. Kunjang said that, apparently, this prankster gets too little homework, since she has time to watch anime, and he asked Lin Xiaolei why her friend's right eye was closed. Did something happen to her? To which Lin Xiaolei replied that no. The baby has always been like this. Her right eye is special, so she can't show it to everyone. Roberto, laughing, told them to see the golden eye of blood. After all, looking into it, a person can lose his life. Kunji said that this does not happen according to him. Roberto asked him if he really didn't believe her. Maybe then he wants to make sure of it. Kunji said yes, let her surprise him. Roberto, addressing Lin Xiaolei, said that it was better for her to cover her eyes. Lin Xiaolei, closing her eyes, told Kunji that it was not necessary. He needed to close his eyes as soon as possible, because it was very dangerous. As soon as he looks, he will immediately go to the underworld. Meanwhile, Roberto opened his right eye. It turned out to be yellow. Kunjaha thought that it was indeed a golden eye. Is she wearing colored lenses? That Roberto screamed, saying that her eyes had her resonance, and pointing her finger at Kunji told him that she understood. He is a dark demon dragon knight, Black-Winged Jax, the enemy of her whole life. She didn't even think that it was today that she would meet him again. Kunji asked her what can be enough already. What kind of child with manic psychosis? Roberto didn't like it, and she asked what's with the manic what? What an ignoramus he is. She has already repeated so many times, and he still does not believe. It looks like she'll have to enlighten him personally. Then Kun Yi received an alert from the system, which said that he had found a candidate who was suitable for the task. And I asked him whether to make a choice. Seeing this, Kun Yi thought that their task was to accompany ordinary people. Obviously, the girl knows how to influence consciousness, so how can it fit? Is the system out of order? Lin Xiaolei approached Roberta and told her that she had finally found her. But Roberto told her not to come over. She is on alert, she can take her for an enemy. Lin Xiaolei told her not to. Didn't brother Kun Yi save her life? Maybe it's better not to fight with him. But Roberto said that their enmity stretches for 1,000 years. She can't escape the battle. Last time they fought with several dozen 1,000 times, and she lost just once. But today is the best day to fight him again. Let the fight begin. Then Kun Yi noticed that her level had risen sharply to 10. And why is the Raging Fire's attack speed so low? Does she have other abilities? And Roberto, keep attacking him, said that let the Hellfire turn into a black Raging Fire and burn all her enemies to the ground. Kun Yi, still dodging her attacks, thought that he had dodged the fiery sphere to crash into the wall and burst like a small bubble. I wonder why that is. He needs to find out how powerful this thing can be. Roberto, laughing, told him that this time he would not dodge. She hit it, and Kun Yi thought that's how it was. And he told her that this technique was needed to scare the enemies, and there is no benefit from it. Roberto said he was right. She used a distraction to lure him here. Kun Yi thought, did she really trick him? Roberto told him that now he was completely at her mercy, and he had nowhere to run. And she began some kind of ritual. Kun Yi asked her if she was a vampire from the west or a goddess from the east. Why did she suddenly resort to ninjutsu? And he thought that he didn't have time for silly games with a 7th grader. He urgently needs to look for the right person to complete the task. And Roberto repeated to you that didn't she get tired of these games? But Roberto did not listen to him and ordered the magic field that leads to the underworld to appear. Seeing this, Kun Yi thought that no, it's impossible. Roberto told him that maybe he thought she was trying to intimidate him. Except this time he was wrong. It's too late to resist now. This magical field will take him straight to hell. Dark energy has enveloped him, now there is no way back. He is consumed by a deadly curse, and calling him Black Winged Jacks, she was going to hit him. Kun Yi took out his sword and thought that she could not have such power. Roberta was about to hit him, but tripping over a stick, she fell. Seeing this, Kun Yi thought that he was also scared by such a naive child. And he told Roberta that he did not intend to waste time here, it was time for him. But then Roberto activated some mechanism. A metal ball fell from the shelf and sharp blades fell from there. Seeing this, Kun Yi said that it was bad, he just needed to find shelter as soon as possible. But it was too late. These blades rained down from above, and one of them pierced Kun Yi. He said it couldn't be. Had he been reborn again? He found himself at the girl's door again. Once there, he said that what happened before the rebirth was quite strange. Could it be such an unlikely event, just a coincidence? He looked at the time and said that he did not notice how he spent it. So much time, he had only 1 hour left. The end of the world is near. When he was already in the girl's apartment, there was a knock on her door, saying that her order had been brought. Zhu Fei said it was so late. Now she gives him a well-deserved review. And opening the door, I asked the man that how it happened that he. But here is a video of Kun Yi leaving her apartment. After leaving her apartment with the key to Kun Yi, I thought that the end of the world was coming. He just needs to find the tarot cards as soon as possible. He didn't think they could resonate with him so powerfully. He entered the girl's apartment and removed the painting from the wall behind which there was a safe. Zhu Fei came up to him and asked that when did he manage to steal her electronic key? And how did he know where the safe was? And who is he anyway? But Kun Yi ignored her and said that he seemed to fit in time. Opening the safes, taking tarot cards, he said that they really responded to him. It's as if they were expecting their master, and now they express all the joy and delight. He thought so. There were only 46 left, one less than last time. Both this card and the card that disappeared after the previous rebirth belong to the same type. They depict an hourglass. Kun Yi thought that there were only 3 such cards left. Does this mean that he has only 3 lives left? And turning to Zhu Fei, he told her to better put that thing down. It's useless against him anyway. Zhu Fei asked him how he knew everything about her laboratory. She may be seeing him for the first time, but she has the feeling that they already know each other. After eating Kun's tarot cards, Yi told her that they really knew each other, and don't let her be surprised by everything that can happen now. He started to improve, and Zhu Fei said it wasn't scientific. Then a monster entered the girl's apartment and Kun Yi said that the end of the world had come. Seeing the monster, Zhu Fei screamed, and the monster grabbed Kung Yi. Being in the clutches of a monster, Kung Yi thought that he really was holding him for a masochist. Is it possible to rewind this moment? Then the system said that an unknown error was detected. System failure. The update is running. Version 1 is being downloaded. The download is completed. The reputation parameter has been added successfully. Kung Yi's awakening continues. After hearing this announcement, Kung Yi said that version 1 was supposed to be released in 3 months. But what influenced the awakening this time? Having dealt with the monster, Kung Yi said that this time everything went much faster. And this is very pleasing. After defeating the monster, the system window opened again, in which there was all the information about Kung Yi. His level was 1. Experience points 20 out of 100. Power 11. Dexterity 10. Intelligence 18. Health 180. Attack 18. Skill points needed 1. World Awakening rating number 1. Reward storage ring. The ability of this ring is the gift of persuasion. After seeing this reward, Kung Yi said that after this awakening, the reward did not change. The system also asked him to choose a class. Sesame said what a rare class, a master of witchcraft. Recently, professionals prefer to choose it. Kung Yi wants to take a look at the description. The system said that the Master of Witchcraft is a class of ancient mystics. They are able to control the power of tarot cards and control the 7 elements, which makes Kung Yi godlike. After reading all this, Kung Yi said that it was just awesome. His abilities were really impressive. This class grants sensitivity to waves of supernatural power. Kung Yi said that the wave attribute is water. Level 1. The system also highlighted a description in which it was said that the distortion of light. Attribute, space. Level 1. Description allows you to detect weak vibrations in space. It also grants the ability to temporarily disappear into the enemy's field of vision. But you can't raise the level. After reading all this, Kung Yi said that if he understands everything correctly, then with its help it is possible to restore energy. And the distortion of light allows you to become invisible. And he thought that now he understood where his glasses had gone. Experience. It took them to discover these abilities. This is a very good skill. And he asked if there was any more information about it. To which the system told him that he was under the curse ability. The chance to die is increased. Kung Yi said it was no wonder he died so easily back then. He should be more careful now. Zhu Fei then intervened and asked Kung Yi, who is he? Did he come from the future through a space-time tunnel? Have they met with aliens in the future? But Kung Yi ordered her to be quiet. If she wants answers, she must first make a weapon for him, and preferably made of Z alloy. But Zhu Fei asked him what did Yeu know about the monocrystalline alloy, and about her estate. Apparently, he really is from the future. Well, she would make a better weapon for him. Kung Yi told her that monsters might attack and he didn't have time to tell her about it yet. Then Roberta's voice was heard, who said that she congratulated Lexus, Bei, Maria, Juan and Saint Margaret on receiving the 2nd level of rebirth. And she called everyone stupid earthlings, saying that they should expect, because soon she, Margarita, the head of the Blood Clan, would conquer them all. After hearing her, Kung Yi said that this fool was completely conceited. Wasn't she afraid to call trouble on herself? Zhu Fei said that it was Chuan Tuan's voice. She was stupid. Kung Yi asked her if they really knew each other, to which Zhu Fei said that, of course, she was her sister. Sesame also said that here it is, that now everything is going back to normal. She heard him. Zhu Fei said that her sister is naughty sometimes, but she is not a bad person, and she handed Kung Yi his new weapon. Taking up the weapon, Kun Zheng said that after this awakening, the stats became much higher than before. And now you still have a weapon. What do you need? Now he has become much stronger. Zhu Fei pushed him and shouted that the werewolf needed to run again. But where is he going? He shouldn't leave her here alone. Kung Yi quickly dealt with all the monsters and subdued one monster using the gift of persuasion. The monster immediately obeyed him and Kung Yi said that this was a good technique. He would tell her everything later. After seeing all this, Zhu Fei was shocked and asked that how did he suddenly disappear, and also suddenly appear. It's just not possible. To which Kun the Best replied that she was questioning everything. A few hours later, all 3 of them were on the roof. Zhu Fei told Kung Ji that she was grateful to him for telling her where her sister was. Now she is asking him to save her. Kung Yi said he would do everything in his power, she shouldn't worry about it. And she and the monster went in search of her sister. Kung Yi told his monster that the curse really works, so you need to be careful. During the whole trip, he slipped 2 times and fell 3 times. They entered the building and Kung Yi said there were monsters on the 2nd floor, so they should go there and check everything out. Going up to the 2nd floor, he saw a group of monsters and thought, what are they doing here? Are there really survivors there? He saw a girl among the monsters. Kung Yi thought that someone was just waking up. It's a girl. She's alone. There are a lot of monsters, but she didn't even scream. This is very surprising. But you can't just stand there and do nothing. You need to save her. And he ordered his monster to attack from the left, and he himself would distract them and attack from the right. After listening to his master's order, the monster immediately rushed into battle. Monster Kung Yi has dealt with all the monsters on the left, and Kung Yi himself deals with monsters on the right. Said that these invisibility skills are just perfect for hidden attacks. And having dealt with another monster, he asked if he hadn't found it yet. Kung Yi praised himself, saying that he was a real good fellow. These animals are so stupid. But then something went wrong. Kung Yi thought that this skill was spending too much magic. It was already at 0. And thanks to this, one of the monsters damaged it. Kung Yi, fighting monsters, said that the level of monsters here is 2 levels higher than it was before. Kung Yi needs to be as careful as possible not to lose even a fraction of his health. But then he noticed and thought that it seemed that this girl had already woken up. But it's not too late, is it? But it was too late, because the health of this girl has already dropped to 0. Kung Yi was trying to do something and thought that the treatment would be useless in her case. He touched her, apparently to check her pulse, and heard that the girl barely asked him for help. Kung Yi was surprised and thought what a tough will she had. Usually people die in such circumstances, and she's not going to. She's trying to fight for her life. But why does her face seem so familiar to Kung Yi? But then Kung Jae remembered, because this is Sui Mei Kin. She is also known as the Queen of Guns. She is invincible with her spear in her hands. She is the only woman among the higher human beings. Moreover, she helped him when he was being chased by Hellboy. And now she's on the verge of life and death. Most likely, this is also a consequence of Kung Yi's rebirth. But he's not going to ignore it. He just has to save her life. He can only use magic to heal, but it can backfire. The system gave him the characteristics that level 2. Holy Sleeve. In order to gain permanent control over a particular skill, it is forbidden to go beyond the current level. It is required to sacrifice the maximum amount of health. This is 100 points by getting an additional 2 higher skills. After reading all this, Kung Jae said that it turns out that as long as he has 100 life points, he will be able to save Sui Mei Kin. He did everything necessary without hesitation and asked her what she could say. Sui Mei Kin woke up. Kung Jae was very happy and thought that she was really alive. And he asked her to open her skill panel for him. Name, Sui Mei Kin. Level, 1 level. Experience, 0 out of 100. Power, 15. Dexterity, 20. Intelligence, 15. Health points, 400. Magic points, 150. Attack power, 20. After waking up. Rating, owner of the Holy Spear. After seeing and reading all this, Kung Jae thought that after waking up, her rating disappeared. And the initial value is so high that this girl is just perfect. There was a chest nearby. Kung Jae poked at it and took out a holy purple amulet from the chest. There was also his description, which stated that the main characteristics of this holy purple amulet, plus 300 health points, health recovery rate plus 2 per second, and when using a two-handed weapon, the damage increases the price plus 15 points. Spear skills when using the holy purple amulet will be plus 1. The main attribute of this holy purple amulet, unknown. Secondary attributes of this purple amulet, increased abilities, level 7, 14 and 21. It is also accidental to include 3 additional attributes that are limited to the professional use of the gun. After reading the entire description of this holy purple amulet, Kung Jae was delighted, his eyes even shone. Kung Jae said there are 4 additional attributes, but this holy purple amulet can be compared to the amulet of God. Kung Jae is very jealous of Sui Mei Kin, because she has a very rare thing. But still, it's her thing, so it's worth giving it back to her. And Kung Jae put this amulet on Sui Mei Kin. When he put this yellow-purple amulet on Sui Mei Kin, Kung Jae thought that she had called him master. After all, nothing will happen if he touches her a little. But at that moment Sui Mei Kin woke up. She was very angry at him, because he wanted to touch her, and asked Kung Jae what he was doing. She's going to poke his eyes out for that. Kung Jae was very scared of her and jumped aside. Sui Mei Kin wanted to hit Kung Jae for this, but she did not succeed, and she asked that why her body does not obey her. Kung Jae said that he used the Holy Awakening to save her. Sui Mei Kin asked if he was using her. He has to take it back, otherwise she. But Kung Jae interrupted her and apologized, saying that it was impossible. After all, this is a skill of the highest level C. It can be eliminated, but only if the awakener on whom it was imposed dies. Sui Mei Kin told him that even if her life was at stake, she would never be in his power. Kung Jae was worried and said that this wasn't what he had planned at all. There was no other way to save her. Holy Awakening is only a short-term test. She shouldn't worry. Sui Mei Kin thought that after all, He had saved her life, and reality cannot be changed. And she sternly told Kun-yi that that was it, enough empty talk. She has 3 requirements that he must comply with, otherwise she will commit suicide. Kun-yi was a little shocked and confused and asked what the requirements were. Then let her say them.